Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm obsessed with today's look, and that is because of this very special palette right here. This palette was actually made by my sister with all Makeup Geek eyeshadows. So I cannot wait to reveal which shades I was able to use today. You all know when the holidays roll around, us makeup lovers get tons of new makeup, and so I have lots of new makeup to show you guys on how I got this look right here. So if you guys want to see what products I use and how to get this look, then just keep watching. Okay, makeup lovers, let's get started. First, we are starting off with this wonderful palette that my sister made for me, and we are picking up that shade Wild West, and we are using the Sigma E40 brush, and this is just the big tapered blending brush. We are going to use this shade as our transition shade, and we are just putting this on top of the crease and a little bit above and below that crease as well, because we just want to make sure that we are able to blend out everything nice and flawless. Now we are going to be using that shade there. It's called Beaches and Cream, and I just wanted to tone it down just a little bit because I wanted the transition shade to be a little bit more neutral, so that's why I just toned it down with something a little bit lighter. We are now going in with the Venom, and this is just, I'm using a flat top brush, and it's by Eco Tools, and it's just an eye shading brush. I did go ahead and wet it with some water so I could get full pigment, and this just helps those more metallic shades to look a little bit more foiled and bright, and that's why I like to go ahead and wet down my brush before I go in with some of these shades like this. So we are just putting that all over the all over the lid, and we're not putting any of that product onto the crease. Now we are going in with Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, and we are using the shade Blackout. We're going to be putting this all over the crease, and I'm using the Sigma pencil brush, the brush E30, and I'm just packing on that product there. And once again, this is the shade Blackout. We're putting that onto the outer corner and all the way towards that inner corner, about a quarter of an inch away, about a quarter away. So not all the way to that tear duct with that product, just a little bit, just like kind of close to it. After we pack that onto the crease, we are going to be putting a little bit more of that Blackout onto the lid, just on that outer corner there of the lid. So this is just going to help us to blend everything out nice and flawlessly, and I really wanted this to be more of that grungy feel to it. Now we are going in with one of my favorite shades. This is called Busted, and this is the Urban Decay Smoky palette. I'm sorry, it's not called Busted, it's called Password. So it's a very nice matte gray soft shade, and I just wanted to add this on there just so we could blend out everything. Once that we get this is just the black and the gray here are just going to make sure that we get this smoky eye nice and you know, no harsh lines, nice and blended. So we will be going in and darkening it up, but right now we're just blending this out and making sure that we are getting no harsh lines. So that's why I'm using a fluffier brush here. This is actually an Anastasia brush. After we've blended that out, I wanted to go ahead and just use that big fluffy brush, the E40, one more time, just so I can make sure that it's nice and flawless. And now we are going back in with Blackout. I'm using my MAC 217 brush for this, and we are just literally going to be using those circular motions because I found that this gave me the best blend. So really we are just working with that Blackout shade. We are not going back in with that gray shade. I found that this gave me more of that flawless blend. I really wanted this to be, you know, a dark kind of smoky eye. And I definitely wanted that black to not get overpowered by the gray, so that's why I decided to just stick with the black, and I just really blended it for a while. I actually added out a lot of the blending, but all I did was I just went in layer by layer with that Blackout shade, and I just went in those circular motions, and I kept the product nice and low. You do not want to get it up super high past that transition shade. Always try to keep it lower than your transition shade, and you will be good to go, my friends. We're now going back in with the E40 brush, and we are just picking up that shade Sidekick there. And this is kind of like a burnt orange shade, and I just wanted to deepen that transition shade a little bit more, especially now that since we had added on that black product there. I just thought that this would give it a little bit more, just tie it all together a little bit more seamlessly, and so that's why I decided to deepen my transition. Now we're just picking up some of that Venom shade with our finger and just packing that on a little bit because it did get taken away by the black, so I just wanted to refresh that. We are now going in with a pencil brush, and this is by Sigma. It's an eyeliner E05 brush. My favorite eyeliner brush, you guys know. And I'm using my gel liner, Maybelline Eye Studio, in the shade Blackest Black. Absolutely love it. So I'm not going all the way in with my wing this time, and I will be deepening that wing as well. What I wanted to do with this double winged liner, I didn't want to take away from the green, from the green beautiful Venom shade from Makeup Geek. I really wanted to keep that the center of attention, so I didn't want to go in and overpower it with the liner. So that's why I just went in like 3/4 of the way with that winged liner. After you've adjusted all of your liner, we're going to go in with our brow bone shade, and this one here is from the Urban Decay Smoky palette, and this shade is called 13. It's just a very matte, flat, kind of off-white shade. So I just put that onto the brow bone just to add a little bit of highlight. And now we are going in with the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I'm in the shade 5.25. I've really been looking forward to this foundation. My mom actually got it for me for Christmas, so I've been super excited to get my hands on this and to try it out. I have been wearing it all day now, and I seriously love it. So we will see how it goes and how my skin reacts to it. Now we're going in with the Maybelline Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circle Concealer, and I'm in the shade Light Pale. I just put that onto the places that I want to highlight, and then I'm using my damp beauty blender so I can blend all of that out and make sure that we don't have any creasing. And I just always be careful with your liner like I was doing there. Sometimes I'll actually blend it out with my finger like you saw me do when it's that close to my liner, especially after I've spent so much time on that wing. You do not want to mess it up with 1 pounce from that beauty blender, and your liner is like, you gotta start all over again. So we're going in with the shade Light palette, and we are just packing on those powders onto the cream that we put on there, the concealer that we put on, because this is what's really going to set all of those in place for the rest of your day, especially if you have oily skin. Today I'm actually using MAC Prep and Prime loose translucent powder to set those under eyes. I find that that actually has been giving me a lot of great coverage, and my sister said that I had like no creasing throughout my day, and she was even wanting to know what I was using, so that made my day. So I had to go ahead and keep trying this MAC Prep and Prime. I'm using the very light shade in the shade Light palette to do my contour here, and I am just gonna let you guys enjoy because you all know my contour routine, so I'll leave you guys to it. We're using the Anastasia Moonchild palette for our highlight today, and I'm using the shade Lucky Clover. It's a nice green and gold undertone. It has like a very beautiful gold undertone, but it's more of that green playful highlight. I love working with these fun highlights, and I just thought it would be a nice thing to add onto this green dark look. And I did go ahead, I usually use Star for my nose highlight, but I did go ahead and just go in with Lucky Clover. I just thought, why the hell not? So I rocked a green highlight on my nose, and I really liked the beautiful highlight that it gave me. Then I went ahead and put Star onto my Cupid's bow and onto the chin. Now we are going back in with that same brush and that same gel liner, the Maybelline, and we are just putting this gel liner underneath. I didn't start, you know, you want to leave a little bit of a space there, so I just started where I thought I would be able to see the most space onto that lower lash line. So I went in about I left 3/4 of the way, and then after that I kind of really filled it in a little bit darker, and then now I'm actually going in with a MAC angled brush, a teeny tiny precision brush, and I'm using that shade Blackout once more, and I'm just smudging it out and blending it out a little bit more because I did want to add a little bit more product, and I wanted to be a little bit thicker right around there where you're seeing me add that black product. Sometimes I feel like the liner can get a little bit messy, so I like to go in with those things with a black eyeshadow, especially Blackout, because it is so dark. And now I'm just using a flat top brush and making sure that there's nothing in between there because I wanted that to be nice and flawless. We're using the shade Luminoso by Milani, one of my favorite blushes, and I'm just putting this onto my cheeks and onto a little bit onto my cheekbone as well. So I'm just really melting that in my highlight in, and we're using an Anastasia fluffy brush kind of, and we're just using that gray shade that we used a little bit earlier with the Urban Decay Smoky palette. The shade is Password. We are going back in with that gel liner, and we are just putting this onto our waterline, and as you see me there, I pull just down a little bit with my finger, not too much. This is a very delicate area, and I'm just packing on that product. Now we're using the Better Than Sex mascara. I've been really wanting to try this mascara. I've heard great reviews, and so I'm finally getting my hands on it, and I can't wait to see how much I like it. I can't wait to see the longevity of this tube as well. I want to see how long this tube lasts me because it is kind of an investment. It is kind of a price point. I usually find that whenever I add about 2 or 3 coats throughout my day, it works really well. And now I'm just coating those lower lashes, and yeah, getting that product on there. Now we are going in with one of my absolute favorite shades, and I'm so excited. My sister gave me this. This is from the holiday collection. It's by Jeffree Star. From his holiday collection, and I'm in the shade Sagittarius. Absolutely love this shade, and I love how this color went so well with green. You all know that purples and greens go so well together, so I just felt like this was very complimentary, and I'm obsessed with this liquid lip. I could not be happier that my sister got me this for Christmas. So excited, and I just, like I said before, I mean, it wears flawlessly. It's great when, it doesn't smudge off. Like, I eat, I kiss, and it's fine. So literally, I've had nothing but great things to say about this liquid lip. So now I'm just setting my face with the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. And I'm getting ready for an amazing day out in Tampa, Florida. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please comment, subscribe, and give me a thumbs up. And I will see you guys soon in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.